What's up, guys? Welcome back to House Flipper Remastered. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we did a quick flip on room 404, and we didn't end up making as much money as I had hoped for. But today, we're going to purchase a larger, more expensive property to help us make the big bucks. Quick side note, both Maya and Daisy are now considered to be young, so they're not quite adults. They're sort of in that that weird in-between stage of life. But that might mean that maybe they can help us out on the job, which would be nice. So I want to do this flip today a little bit differently than normal. Normally, I'll purchase a house and sort of flip it the way that I would want to flip it, you know? To give myself a little bit of a challenge for the day, what I want to do is try to flip a property specifically for family Jonson, or the Jonson family. So there's 2 parents, a grandmama, and 3 children. So we're definitely going to want to purchase a property that's got plenty of space for everyone. If we head back into the browser here, I've sort of already cherry-picked one that I think is going to work pretty well. And ironically enough, it's just called Family House. There's also Family Residence, but that's a little bit on the smaller side. And then I had thought about maybe doing like the title screen house as well, but that again, a little bit on the smaller side. Also, with this one, it says we can do house building things to it. So fingers crossed, we're actually going to be able to expand this property, even if it is just a little bit. But it is a 237 square meter property. It's got 12 rooms, rat meow, but you already know we're going to be knocking out all the interior walls anyways, and just 2 floors. It says a beautiful house for sale, 3 bathrooms, and a pool. That's key right here, because the Jonson family loves a good pool, which is why I think this is going to work out really well for us. So there we go. We're going to head there now, and we can check it out. I also wanted to pick something that we haven't flipped before, like in the original series, or I guess in the first House Flipper series. I don't believe that we flipped this one. We might have done a job here, but off the rip, it does not look even remotely familiar. This is just a wallpaper wall? Weird, dude, that's kind of trippy. It almost looks 3-dimensional. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have to replace that outlet, but we can do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why is that not painted? Just unfinished? I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe we have done this one before. Either way, it's been long enough since we would have done it last, where, what the heck is going on there? Where I can't possibly remember what I would have done. So at least it'll be different. Kind of like how having just a single chair in a otherwise empty room is a little different. I like the staircase though, that's looking good. We have the green bathroom. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to sort of remember this one a little bit. But we're gonna be able to come up with a much better layout for this place. Another thing that the Jonson family really wants is a lot of, that's just toppled over, a lot of bathrooms. Probably more than 2, I would imagine. So we have 2 bathrooms already upstairs. And then did we have, yeah, we have 1 down here. I really wish we could add another staircase and go down, like have a basement level. But unfortunately, that is not a thing. I don't think. Granted, this time around we do have the house building tool, but I don't believe you can make basements. I want to try to figure out as well, if we were to expand like the exterior walls, where would we do it at? I think back here would probably make the most sense. Really, you just have to do it somewhere where the like existing roof isn't going to get in the way. But do we expand both the first and second floor, or maybe just the first floor? We'll figure that out. The garage is not nearly deep enough for my liking, so I'll probably end up getting rid of that weird little single chair room here in the back. That's just super strange. But before we get started selling some stuff, we're gonna break out the old handy dandy lawnmower and take care of all the weeds and, of course, cut the grass. All right, I think that looks much better than it did before. I'm pretty sure that they like flowers. Didn't they say that they liked flowers somewhere? Yeah, the garden is sad without flowers. That's a dislike, meaning they actually like flowers. So I'm tempted to maybe leave these, but also it doesn't look very good. So let's maybe, just a thought, hear me out, get rid of these random things, and then later we can come through and add like actual flower beds that hopefully will look better than just random plants strung about the lawn like this. I don't know. Me personally, I think it looks kind of bad. Like this right here. Can we not? We cannot sell a lot of these at once. Weird. Okay, but that's the last of it. We've got some nice little pine trees here in the backyard. The pool is definitely going to be a selling point for these people, though. No. That's okay. That's okay. We can duplicate these, right? We're fine. Everything's great. Oh, I see a footprint right there. I'll try to remember that that's there when we're going around getting everything cleaned up with the mop. But there we go. That's pretty much the exterior now taken care of. I think, just to make sure that we don't accidentally sell something else, stacked switches, huh? We're going to be fixing that for sure. I'm not going to use the scroll wheel thing this time. We're just going to go around and, you know, pinpoint each individual thing that we want to get rid of. Oh, you know what? Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure when I flipped this in the past, I'm almost confident that I did that now. But I'm pretty sure I kept the kitchen here because this seems very, very familiar to me. But we don't want any lights in here. I'll probably sell the switches too because those aren't the modern light switches. And we've got quite a few different outlets that we're going to end up having to replace. Get these sconces off the walls. Another light switch. Were there exterior lights? Not the front, at least. Another sconce up there. We could sell the staircase. Oh, and they like rugs, too. We're going to want to add some rugs in here as well. Some curtains that weren't fully assembled. I mean, you get it. We're going to go around and we're going to sell everything. I don't think I need to say we're going to sell this, and we're going to sell this, and we're going to sell this, because I mean, that's just what we're doing. Everything must go. Okie dokie. I think that's most everything now sold. I am getting a little bit of that annoying frame droppage, sort of freezing thing happening at this property. And I gotta say, I don't love that that's a thing. But maybe it's more so something on my end, right? There's a possibility that there could be like dog hair underneath my mouse or something. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Next, though, I think before we start cleaning, I'm gonna make my rounds and start replacing some of these electrical outlets and things. Actually, I have to do this today, IRL even. One of the outlets in my nephew's old bedroom, which is now gonna be my wife's office, got smashed somehow. I don't know, maybe he had like a shelf too close against it or something, but it doesn't really look like an electrical outlet anymore. It is probably a fire hazard too, so this is good practice, even though this isn't really how it works, at least for me personally. I think there's just one more up here in this back corner. It's close to real life, but it's weird. The outlets just look ever so slightly off. You know what I mean? Like they're European outlets or something. Not too far off though. All right. Cool. The deed is done, and I think we're ready for the Jonson family to move on in. Okay, we should probably clean. We should probably clean at the very least, and then we're ready. Well, so far, at least the Jonson family is not at the top of our highest bidders list. So we need to fix that. And I think what I want to do now is go through and sell every single door and every single window, including the garage door, I think, as well. Got a little light switch there that I forgot to sell. But now that we do have access to the house building tools and whatnot, we should be allowed to sell the staircase and get a slightly different one that I'm hoping will allow us to have a different layout here upstairs. The house looked a lot larger from the outside, and now that I'm in here, it doesn't feel all that big, but we're gonna work on that. We are gonna work on that. Okay, should be all the windows now. Let's go ahead. I'll leave the staircase for the time being, just so we can go in between each floor. But we're gonna break out the handy dandy sledgehammer and start knocking out every single one of these interior walls. Now that we've gotten rid of all the interior walls, I temporarily placed a front door over here. That way we can just head outside and take a look at things from out here. But this front door sort of gave me an idea. I really like how there's this little cutout here in the front where the old front door used to be. I'm not crazy about this planter, but we can worry about that later. It kind of covers the door up a little bit too much. So let's head upstairs, again, temporarily utilizing this staircase. But that basement, or I guess main floor door is a 250 by 200. So this window, a 250 by 200 window, should fit smack dab in the center of there. And then let's head back downstairs so we can once again take a look at it from the outside. I think this is gonna look pretty nice. Like a big picture window up there in the top. And then, now if we get rid of our staircase. Oh no. No. Okay, that ruins everything. That actually ruins everything. It's possible that maybe I'm just not able to get rid of it because we don't have another staircase? So let's see, where's stairs at? Stairs, let's just do a random one. We'll go with this and place that here. Okay, now. Why? Why? Why highlight like you're gonna let me sell it and then not let me sell it? That is very, very frustrating. Could we, like, wall it off, maybe? Is that something that we could do? Could we just put walls? I mean, we could cover it up entirely and just not use it. But that totally ruins my idea. I wanted to use the entresol thing. I guess we can do it because we've got like pretty much unlimited budget, I would say. But I wanted to use the entresol thing and basically do like a big selection here where there just wouldn't be a ceiling. Hello? Okay, that was weird. I think that would look cool, and then we could have had like a better looking staircase here toward the back side of the wall. But because we're unable to sell this staircase, I don't know what I want to do now. So I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you on this once I get my bearings again. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but according to the internet, if you first paint the existing staircases, that should allow the sell tool to register it so it can be sold. Well, unfortunately, I've tried just about everything that I can think of. Well, okay, now I've tried just about everything that I can think of to get rid of the existing staircase, and it doesn't seem to be possible. So we're just gonna have to try to work around it, I guess. But my idea of having a big picture window up here doesn't really make a ton of sense now, so we're just gonna go ahead and scrap that idea. But let's head out front, because we do still have a driveway. This one, thankfully, does have a gate, so it looks more like a proper driveway. We just need to find a new garage door, and then we'll just continue on from there. I'm thinking that we'll probably have to come back through and adjust all the colors for everything. So for now, this is really just a default colorway, but our front door had black trim around it, so that's what I've decided to do here. Could probably do a natural oak garage door as well. But now that we have that in place, we need a car for scale. And we're going to use this little Audi hatchback again, as we do. Get that rotated around. And you know what? Let's shut that, so we can get this as far back as possible. Right about there. So really, I mean, we'd probably have to just wall this off, and that would be our dedicated garage space, which doesn't leave us with a ton of room, but we could expand over here and then just have like a big doorway maybe on the back side of the staircase. I'm really so upset about the staircase. I don't think I'll ever get over that. I suppose let's get the house building tool out, and we'll see if we can even do this. We can. Okay, this is good. Things are starting to look up. I kind of want to bring this all the way over to that concrete pad. So we're going to have to put that on hold for a moment. And move this. Probably chop this tree down as well. It's a pretty skinny tree, so we'll just use the axe that it gives us. And remove the stump. Got him. Where were we? Let's do this. Slide this all the way down as far as we can. Looks like that's as far as we're going to be able to take this sucker. Is there like a max size or something? No, because we can go way out over here. Weird. Why does it just stop? There's nothing in the way there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to the corner. Okay, so we have a perfect square. I think that's going to be just fine. And now this tree's going to clip into our building, so let's get our chainsaw. This one's a little bit larger. And we will make quick work of this one, too. Normally, there's like a little circle that appears. That's weird. All All right, and now that we have that taken care of, we can remove that stump as well. We're gonna get this figured out. All right, for the Jonson family, for their sake, we're gonna get this all sorted, and everything's gonna be great. We could either do a roof up here, or we could do some sort of a balcony patio type thing. We also need like a really big door here at the back of the house so they have easier access to the pool. But we'll figure that out momentarily as well. I think these plants are gonna have to go. So we'll sell those. And then let's grab these pavers and just bring the pavers all the way up to that wall. And maybe slide this over a little bit further as well. We'll just kind of bring it all the way over to here. I think that'll end up looking pretty nice. Since the pool was placed over here at just the slightest angle, we start to get a bit of a crack in the pavers. And because of that, we have some grass sort of clipping through. So what I want to try is the flamethrower to see, to see if we could maybe, this will probably get rid of the pavers and maybe even the pool. But it should also get rid of the grass, which is really what I want. We could do some sod there. Is there still sod? Hang on. Or is that, it's got to be in here somewhere, right? Surfaces? Turf sod. Turf roll is what it was called. Okay. Let's get a large roll. And then we're going to roll it out this direction. And it should just sort of fill that grass back in. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to run it all the way down to the end, though. Oh, we can scroll wheel, too. Makes it a little bit faster. And then we can cut that. All right, now, back to our cell tool. We'll get rid of that fang. And we're going to have to reinstall a pool. Which really isn't a big deal, but when there's pavers here already, it does make it a little bit more difficult. And I still have to fill in some like super small pavers over by that new wall that we just constructed. Okay. Let's get the same exact pool, assuming we can do that, and everything's gonna be great. How about here? Is that gonna be a good spot for it? Don't know until you try, unfortunately. Okay, and then where did our pool go? What? Is it in, it's in the house? Okay. Yep. There we go. Now if we head back around, let's check this out. Okay, it didn't line up perfectly over here, but there's no gap here anymore, which is good. And it kind of overlapped onto these pavers a little bit. Let's try that one more time. I'm gonna get it. We're looking better here. There's less overlap. Still not quite to the edge of the pavers. And then over here. Okay, that's pretty solid. You know what? We can live with this. I think that's gonna be just fine. Sweet. Okay, so pool pad and pool. Done. Now we just have to fill this in, and then... I don't know if I want a door here, or if we should do a door maybe where the old living room was. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Hang on. How long has this been in the game, dude? This might be the coolest door I've ever seen. It's like a folding slider. Oh, that is so nice. That is really so nice. I'm tempted to use that there, and then maybe we do another one over here. I suppose we should probably figure out how we're going to be able to get people from the main house to that new extension. I wanted to do like an archway here, but now it's looking like our exterior wall's ending like right here. So that's not what I wanted. We're gonna have to make this garage a little bit smaller. I wanted to have the wall come out from here, but I think we're gonna have to have it come out from here, which means if it stopped there, is that even enough space for just a simple door frame? It is not. Come on, man. I mean, maybe there's a chance. I'm gonna put a random door frame, I think, back here, just temporarily. That way we can go through it a little bit easier. But maybe there's a chance if we were to sell this, now that we have the building built, could we move this now? Well, definitely not because of the pavers being there. Am I really gonna sell some pavers just to see if we can do that? Yeah. Yeah, I think I am. Okay, so this still doesn't work, but if we rebuild that, this will. So we can just expand it slightly. We're gonna have to get rid of some more pavers in order to do that, but it should be worth it. Man, it really is just one thing after another. Oh, that wall is the reason that we can't go any further. Weird. Okay, well, maybe if we build this, can we bring this over to meet that wall? We cannot. So there's gonna be a little bit of a gap there, which still doesn't help us whatsoever. Because if we want to put a door basically where this wall is, that wall's still gonna be there, and then we're still not gonna be able to put a door there. Cool. Cool. I think this spot over here would be a good place for Gram, right? She's got her own door leading out to the pool. I mean, come on. She's probably gonna have the best dang room in the house. But now that we have that done, I am going to bring out a wall this way, and we're gonna have it stop. Let's see. Probably have that stop right around here somewhere. So like that. And then we can bring this over to right around here. And then completely wall this off. And completely wall this off. I think the door leading into the garage will probably end up going there, which we'll have to, you know, get rid of the walls in order for us to do that. But there's still a decent amount of room in here. I have to keep reminding myself also that this is not our flip. This is for the family Jonson. The Jonson family. Family Jonson makes it sound like something else. But we don't need to get into that right now. Like, have you seen the family Jonson? You know what I mean? It seems weird. But we have an exterior door now for Gram's room. We have an interior door now leading out to the garage. Let's try to figure out this floor plan a little bit. I feel like this spot would be a good spot to have like a very large, formal dining room space. I don't know if I really want to do any additional interior walls there. I suppose we're going to have to, though, if we want to have it count as a separate room. But we'll figure that out all in due time as well. We still need a spot for a main floor half bath. Originally, they had one here, I think. So we may end up just doing something similar. Man, I don't know. And then does Gram need her own attached bathroom? If we were to do that, we'd probably have to move this door to this wall and then just wall this the rest of the way off. That could be Gram's attached bathroom. Maybe. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just wall off the staircase. And then we're going to have to come out a little bit further. Is it going to look weird if we put one there? Yeah. Okay. So the staircase again, causing a severe headache for me. But we're gonna bring that all the way out to, I think, right around here. And then just leave it open? It's gonna look horrendous. But I mean, what other options do we have? We're unable to get rid of the staircase. So we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work for the family Jonson. The Jonson family. And then that is almost perfectly in line with that door, so that's good. But here I think I want to do at least one post and then another post. Let's look at archways. If we can't find one, we're just going to make our own with some lintels across the top there. But I'm thinking there's got to be something, even like a curved archway. I think that would look really nice. This looks too big, but we're going to try it anyways. In white wood. It is just barely too big. But if those walls weren't there, it would work. I just don't know. Where's my sledgehammer? I just don't know if that would look very good. So we'll get rid of both of those, and then let's try this one mo again, as they say. I mean, that's not bad. It does look a little strange. It's so low. Why is it so low? I almost feel like I have to duck just walking underneath of it. And I'm not a tall guy. That one's probably out. Gotta be honest, probably out. Yeah, we're just gonna make our own. We are just gonna make our own because the lintels will give us a little bit more headroom. There we go. That seems better. That feels better to me for some reason. And then over here, we could do a doorway. God, if we did a doorway here, that would give Graham even more real estate. But then still, I don't know where the heck we're gonna put the main floor half bath. I mean, we don't need a ton of space for it. It is just a half bath after all. We could do it back here. That seems a little strange though. That dang staircase. If that dang staircase wasn't there, man, life would be a whole heck of a lot simpler. More simple. Since these people probably don't care about a garage whatsoever, I am going to make this as small as it can possibly be. Just like that. We are then going to demolish this. And now we can slide this bathroom door over. Oh, no, we can't. Psych! Just kidding. We're going to have to purchase a new one of those. And we're doing natural oak for the door, white wood for the frame, and then black handles. But now we can put this guy... Or wait, no, that's silly. We should probably do this first. Bring that out. 2 on either side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be offset. Let's have the offset be in this corner. So we'll smash that out. Get it a little bit further away from Graham's door. But this will not only be the main floor bathroom, but it will be Graham's full bathroom as well. And I think she'll appreciate that. It's not connected to her room, but it is close. Now we just need a new door leading into the garage. So I think we're gonna smash these out. And we should have a little bit of a gap there. Okay, perfect. Whoops. Forgot a little bit. And then we can do lintels up on the top. Grab a new door from the store. And we want that to open up this direction. It doesn't hit the Audi. It doesn't hit the Audi, so I think we're good. But that also leaves us with enough space to have like a China hutch here. I feel like that's sort of an important thing to have in or around your dining room area. We're figuring it out. Slowly but surely, we are starting to figure this all out. So, back over here, I'd kind of like to do an additional little archway, but I also don't know that that's necessary now. You walk in, we'll have a living room here, kitchen here, dining room, garage, bathroom. That'll be a full bath. Gram's room. I just think it's important to have Gram on the main floor so she doesn't have to worry about going up and down the steps, you know? I think this could work. This, we no longer need. So we're gonna scrap that. And then if we were to have a door leading out to the pool area, I think it would make the most sense. Oh, what the heck happened here? Cannot duplicate. Rip. Maybe that's one of the ones that we can match in the store. Probably not, though. But I think it would make the most sense to have basically the exact same door on that back wall. So you could just walk straight through the house to the pool. You don't have to worry about walking through the kitchen or walking through the living room. And we're going to change up the wood color for the trim on that door as well. I think I've pretty much decided at this point that we're going to go with white trim here. Whoops. Keep the doors natural oak. Swap that out for white trim. So, garage door. This one, I think we're going to sell. I think it will look better to have a natural oak garage door front. And then again, that white trim around the outside. So far, so good. This place is definitely not gonna be brick. Also, just gonna throw that out there. We're gonna do something different. What? I don't really know yet. Can we just move this whole thing? Plants included? Perfect. All right, let's put that off to the side and we can come back to that later. I have to try to fix this now. And I really don't think that that's possible. There are, like, wood plank pavers. But usually, if there's already some on a lot, you're not going to be able to match the same color. So I think we're looking for this one. And is it the same? It is not. This is so much darker, it's unreal. Well, we're going to have to get rid of all this now and do something different there. How about a little concrete? It'll match the sidewalk. Which, now that we have such a wide door, does look a little odd. But we have a narrow gate, so I don't think making this wider would really do much for us. Trying to fill in those little gaps might be a little tricky. We can put this one here for sure. Thankfully, the gutter isn't getting in the way. That's kind of a surprise. And then, what about up here? Are we able to just run this straight across? Yes, up until this point, but I think these concrete pavers are the only ones that have a 50 by 50. If I remember right, there it is. Okay. We're good. We're good. Crisis averted. I think that looks pretty dang solid. It would have been nice to have the decking material there still, but what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? So, let's add maybe installations here in the bathroom. I'm still trying to get the Jonson family to be at the top of our highest bidder list. And I don't think they're going to get up there until we add in some bathrooms. Well, I definitely think Gram will appreciate this space. As for the rest of the family, that remains to be seen. Currently, I think that Smoth family is sitting at the top of the leaderboard. So we're going to have to add some more bathrooms. I know that's something that they really, really care about. But before we head upstairs and start figuring out the bedroom and bathroom situation up there, I would also like to add a closet for Gram. So we're going to bring a wall out like so. And it doesn't have to come out too far. Well, Graham, you know, she been around for a minute. She probably got a lot of clothes. So she might appreciate a little bit larger closets. Is a closet something that they even care about? Let's read through this real quick. Oh, it shows us their current address, their current contact details, their social security numbers, and their dates of birth. That's weird. Okay, Likes says, oh, that's so cute. This wooden furniture makes the home feel very cozy. Wooden? That's good, right? In the, I don't know if you saw that, but in Graham's full bathroom, there was a wooden sink vanity thing. We're doing natural oak. We always got to choose just one wood type and use nothing except that for the entire house. So that's what we're going to be doing with this one. We'd like even more, they say. We need at least one more bathroom. That's where I got the bathroom thing from. That's hardly enough for our books. Okay, so they need like a library, or perhaps we just do a bunch of bookshelves maybe in the living room. That seems pretty doable. A big, comfortable bed. We like this. So does everyone need a big, comfortable bed? Just the parents? I don't really know what that means. There must be a decent kitchen in the house. We will for sure give them a decent kitchen. I sort of pride myself on my kitchen creation skills, even though I always end up using the same kitchen set, the novella set. 3 kids and no toys, that's no good. Okay, so we need toys. They like rugs. We prefer simple furniture at home. There's no sense having expensive furniture with our unruly kids. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. So what? If we're shopping for furniture, I guess we just sort by price lowest to highest? I don't know. That could definitely be challenging. Place for books, that's bookshelves again. We don't have a place to sleep, they just want a bed. We wanted to have wooden furniture at home, but there isn't any. Okay, so the wooden furniture. Garden is sad without flowers. We'll give them some flowers. Big family room we can do. House doesn't have a bathroom. It already has one. No children's rooms. We're going to take care of that too. And the kids don't have a desk to learn at. So in each kid's bedroom, we're going to have to give them all a desk. I think we can do that. Definitely think we can do that. But nothing about closets. So we're doing this purely out of the goodness of our heart at the moment. Ooh, is it gonna meet perfectly in the middle? Nice. I really do like the look of these wardrobe doors, so I'm gonna continue to use them until you guys get sick of me using them. Probably. Nobody's spoken up about it yet, so we're in the clear. And then for the closet to count as a closet, we just need wardrobes, right? Just closet things. So let's do that really quick. I want to say it was in bedroom wardrobes. And then there should be like, oh, that's kind of cute. Maybe Graham would like that. But there should be like these sort of the like standalone cabinet things. Is that going to fit in here? Ooh, money. Cash money. Okay, so 1.25 meters is what we have to work with here, which means we can basically just use these two. So I'm going to give Graham's maybe one of these on this side. And then we can do just the other one on the other. I feel like that makes sense. But natural oak, black handles, black accents, and then glass on the front. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. All right. I'm going to have to remove these when it comes time to paint the room, but that is a problem for later. We don't have to worry about that, at least not right now. But there we go. Closet. This is considered to be a corridor at the moment, which should hopefully change whenever we add a bed in here. So let's go to beds. Price ascending. But it has to be a big bed. So the cheapest big bed would be this one, which is hideous. So I'm not going to choose that. Let's see what we've got in here for Graham. Double. A double. Natural oak. And we'll do white, but since it's Graham we're talking about here, maybe we sprinkle in a little bit of violet. She seems like a violet girly. And then some violet pillows. That will be perfect. Try to get it in the center of this room. Oh, that's not going to give us good measurements, is it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we have a bedroom. I still haven't even seen the family Jonson. The Jonson family. Still haven't even seen them up there. It's going to take time. I think it's going to take time. We could also do some bookshelves maybe in the dining room area. That's a possibility. All right. Anyways, let's head upstairs and we'll try to tackle this space. So, because the staircase cannot be removed, we're probably going to have to keep pretty much the same layout that was up here before, with this basically acting as a hallway space. But we could maybe get an extra bathroom squeezed into this corner if we put a wall here. It's going to look kind of weird because there's railing there. But I think this could work out pretty well for us. Should be all right. And then we could take it all the way across, even. That might be kind of strange also. Okay, let's think about this. Big bedroom over here. Gotta be the parents' bedroom. Obviously. But it probably doesn't need to be this large. So we could make it a little bit smaller by doing this. And then how wide do we want this hallway? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this right there would be our wall. Which means now I have to demolish all of that. It is what it is. We gotta do it sometimes. I think we could comfortably squeeze a full bath into this area. Maybe that would be for the girls' room. So let's just get that corner all set up. And then over here, it's not gonna be a huge bathroom, but it could work. It's gonna have to work. Unless, what if we did like a walkthrough? Can't say I've ever done this before. But what if we did some lintels up here? So this would not only be the doorway leading into the master bath, or master bedroom, but also the master bathroom. And you just kind of have to like walk through your bathroom in order to get into your room. Like I said, it's going to be weird, and I can't say I've ever done it before, but there's a first for everything. Still getting our rent from that one house, too. That's nice. So let's do another wall here. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the door, so on 5. That's going to give us enough room for these lintels. And then we're just going to finish this wall out there. It could work. It could totally work. Master bath attached to the master bedroom. We've got the girls' bathroom here. So then the two boys would end up sharing a bathroom. What did we do for spacing here? 6, right? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on 7. We're going to have somehow, I don't know how we're going to get this to work, but somehow we're going to have 2 boys' bedrooms here with like a shared bathroom between them. Maybe we could use pocket doors to save a little bit of space or something. I don't know. Judging by the photo, it did sort of seem like maybe, I don't know, the kids kind of all seem to be almost around the same age. I was going to say maybe the girl was a little bit older. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But her bedroom wall is going to end here. So then we'll have the door somewhere in the hallway, obviously. But then that should all get walled off. So somewhere around here will be the main door leading into her bedroom. And then her bathroom, we might even have to take up a little bit of the bathroom space for a closet. But for now, I think I'm gonna bring it out to here. I don't know, do the parents really need this much space for their bedroom? I know the master bedroom's supposed to be, like, big. But this seems like too much space. I think it would be easier for us to put a master bedroom over here and then have two, like, split bedrooms with a shared bath for the two boys here. So we're gonna do a little bit of demolition and just kind of rethink this area slightly. Honestly, I don't even remember what I said last. It's been a while. I basically had to just shut up and think for a really long time, but if we head back upstairs, the bedroom, bathroom situation has been handled, finally. So let me show you guys to the master. Yes, this is the master bedroom. All 14 square meters of it. It's on the smaller side, but the Jonson family, or the family Jonson, is gonna have to understand that it's only small because I wanted to give them a decent size master bath. So rather than having two sinks that are combined into one vanity, I decided to go with two separate sink vanities. We've got the fatty, of course, making its return. Very simple corner shower, nothing too crazy there. Some sconces and more of that natural oak. Of course, we've got a natural oak mirror above both sinks as well. And then this, I was unaware that they even had such a narrow doorway, but this is a 0.75. Let me fact check myself really quick. I want to say it was a 0.75. Yeah, 0.75 by 2 meter door opening. And once again, we've gone with the natural oak for that as well. But parents have to have a closet. They probably got a lot of clothes. So this is a little bit larger than Graham's closet down under. They've got a little bit more space to work with there. The bedroom is definitely on the smaller side, and I think this children's bedroom is larger at 18 square meters. Thought about adding a closet in here just to make it a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I don't really think it's necessary, especially for a kid. You know, they're gonna have like a dresser or a chest of drawers or something to put all their clothes in anyways. They probably don't need any hanging space. And if you guys remember, originally over here was gonna be the master bedroom, and I started to work on it. I got the like in-between bathroom, the shared bathroom, if you will, complete, and then realized, wait, there's 3 kids, not 2. And that was a bit of an oopsie on my part. But we have one children's bedroom here, probably the eldest boy, I would think, and then we maybe have the youngest boy over here. This is a slightly smaller bedroom. Bathroom is 8 square meters, so decent size, but nothing too fancy going on in here. It was tough because the doors take up a lot of space. I tried to use barn doors, but they didn't have the natural oak wood type to match all the other doors, so it just looked weird. The other alternative was glass, which I wasn't gonna do for a bathroom. That's super strange. And then over here, this was the afterthought bedroom. This is the girls' room. It's 12 square meters. Very small, but I think I made up for it here in the bathroom. She still has a full bath, different shower than everyone else is rocking. It's tight, sure, but at least it's dedicated, you know, it's attached to her bedroom, so figured that would be a selling point. And then smaller closet, yeah, but still a closet. I think it'll work well. I'm surprised to see that the family Jonson, or the Jonson family, still isn't at the top of the leaderboard. It's a bit concerning. At this point, I would say that it's a bit concerning because I've done most everything that they wanted me to do, including the wood types and trying to use like cheap things The only thing that I haven't tried yet is to add beds in each of the rooms. So let's try that. We're gonna go back to furniture, bedroom, beds, sort by price ascending, and then since these are kids' rooms, I think we can get away with using smaller beds and bed frames. We will go with pink for this one. That just needs to get squeezed into that corner back there. Okay, there we go. We've got them. They're at the bottom of the leaderboard, but they are at least there, which is good. So that's all I really want to do in this bedroom for the time being. Let's choose a bed now for, this would have been the youngest son. I like the drawer. I like the drawer on this one. And we can go with green, actually. You know what? That'll work. Gives us a different color scheme option for this room. So that bed is going to go right there. Family Jonson, did you like that? Perfect. We don't want to pay the extra for expensive furniture. You guys, I'm trying to give you the cheapest of the cheap stuff. I really, really am. And now with that bedroom done, this is going to be the eldest son's room. So he needs maybe the same size bed, but something a little bit higher end. Maybe like this Paxson one. And it's gonna be messy because he's a teen, presumably. I don't know, maybe that's not even accurate. And I don't really care about the color scheme for this one for right now. We just got to get a bed put in this room. So let's do that over in this corner. And they love it. 4 bedrooms will be enough for us, but we'll have to squeeze 2 kids in one room? No, you won't. We've got this one, and then we've got Graham's room on the main floor. I keep wanting to say in the basement. Technically, it is in the basement. Okay, so the cheapest double bed is the same one that we gave Graham. So we're going to put that one in here, change the sheets up a little bit. Don't want it to look identical. And we can, of course, change this all later anyways. But I think that it's going to go smack dab in the center of that wall. All right, they're moving up. They're moving up. It's great that there are 5 bedrooms. Each child will have their own. And don't forget about Graham, of course. Okay. We're looking good now. They are in 3rd. And if we want them to outbid the Smoth family and also Dolan Trusk or whatever his name is, which we do want them to do that. We're gonna have to focus on the kitchen here for a few minutes. So of course that's gonna involve me trying to piece together a good kitchen cabinet configuration. We're gonna use the novella set as per usual, but I will see you guys here in just a few minutes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I have provided this family with an enormous kitchen, and as of right now, they simply do not care. But maybe some of you guys will, so let me show you what we're working with. We've got the standard sort of bar top with the sink on the back side of it like we usually do. Same thing with the refrigerator and the cabinet stack. I was going to do another cabinet here, but I felt like maybe switching it up a little bit and doing a shelf instead would look better. Still unsure on if that was the move or not, but we've got some pantry space since we don't really have enough room for a proper pantry. And then the usual stove with the range hood setup. It's a basic kitchen, but it is absolutely enormous because this entire room is considered to be just one big kitchen. So in order for us to add the living room space that they also want, all that I'm going to do for now is grab the cheapest possible sofa that we could purchase, but an actual sofa, not just like an ottoman or something. Here we go. 2-person sofa. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Let's put that in here. Do they like that? Nothing. Wait, and after I added that, it went from large kitchen to now just kitchen. Interesting. Okay, how about a TV? Again, nothing crazy. We may not even keep this TV. Where are all the TVs at? Let's just put this one on the floor. Just to see if they fancy that. Really? Okay. Okay. What else could we add? Let's go back to living room furniture. What else could we add in here that would be a living room stuff? Maybe a poof in the corner. Didn't seem like they really cared about that whatsoever. Bookshelf for sure. How about a super cheap little coffee table? Okay, now it's living room with kitchenette. And the family Jonson decided that they didn't like that. Why? Okay, that bumped them back up. Did it not say that they wanted a large family room? It doesn't tell us what they dislike about this. They just don't like it. Okay. This is interesting. I wonder if it's because it's just not large enough. And also, maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's a kitchen or a living room with kitchenette. Maybe it has to say large family room. So I'm going to sell this. And then let's go back to the novella set really quick. I really just want to, I just want to get them on board. That's been my whole goal with this first episode. Of course, we're not going to finish the entire house today. We're going to have to do a follow-up episode after this one. Oh, wait, you know what? What am I doing? I'm being silly. We can just duplicate this and slap it on the end. I had to get rid of the extra little trim there up at the top. But then now that we have that, we should be able to bring this out to here. And I think maybe if we come out to right about this point, we can do another one of our custom archways. So we'll put lintels up there. And then for the time being, I'm going to leave this open, but we'll probably have to close it for it to count as its own, like, separate room. So let's head outside, and we're going to have to sell some of these pavers. I hate to do it, but it's an easy thing for us to replace later. What I want to do is just, whoops, went in the pool there for a second, got rid of the sell tool. What I want to do is just try to bring this out slightly. So let's start here and see how far over we can bring it. About to there is almost perfect. I was hoping for a little bit further than that. But we might be able to make that work. And then how far out can we bring this? Okay, all the way to the edge of the pool. That's probably perfect. So let's commit to that. And now on the inside, since we can't actually get rid of exterior walls, because technically this is still an exterior wall, the only thing that we can do for that is under doors and modular frames. So we want the high side. Let's go with wood. And we'll do natural oak. So that's gonna go here. We'll smash that out, and then, whoa, that was crazy. And then we're gonna need another one over here. Like that. And now for the whole middle bit, we just need the middle section. So there's low and high. Here we go, 400. That might be too big. It is unfortunately too big, so we're gonna have to go with the smaller ones and just double them up. Well, not exactly. We can do that. And then we need two super small ones. Oh, that's low. We want high. Right here. Natural oak again. One of those. And last but not least, one of these? What do you mean there's not enough space? Is the poof getting in the way? Let's try that again. There it is. Okay. Classic poof moment right there. I wish it was one continuous thing. Let's see, where's our door line up with? Yeah, see, the doors are perfectly aligned. It would be nice if we could bring this out a little bit further. So I'm gonna try to, well, let's sell the door when we're on this side of it. We'll get rid of these. And then if we, couldn't we just edit this? Apparently not. All right. So let's get rid of you. And sneak back round through the front door this time and all the way back around. Now we should be able to edit this and slide it out just one more. Like so. All right, perfect. And then if we go back to this and slap that down in the corner, I'm thinking now we'll be able to fit that 400 here. We might have a little bit of overhang. Oh, that's the 200. 400. Still can't quite do that. That's okay. That's okay. We'll go back to the 200 right there. And then is there a 100 or is it only 50s? Unfortunately, it is only 50s from here on out. So we'll do 3 of them right here. And then we'll have to reinstall that door. Really wish this little gap wasn't right there, but I think what we can do instead, since they like plants, is we'll just get rid of that and then we can fill that with some flowers or something later. That should be okay. I think they'll enjoy that. Now we're gonna place a wall here and fill the rest of that in with some lintels. That now makes this space a corridor. Oh no, they're 2 separate corridors. So is having one massive living room pretty much out of the question then? Because this isn't at all what I had hoped for. If we put the TV in here, it's still a corridor. If we move the couch in here, it's still a corridor. What am I missing to transform this into a living room? Wait. They like wooden furniture. Rocking chairs, not my favorite thing. I think they're super creepy. But does this help transform it? It does not. Into a living room. Oh, brother. I hate to say this, because now I've got to, like, undo everything that we just did. But I think it was better as a living room with kitchenette. So, be right back. After demolishing that separation wall between the kitchen and the living room, I personally like this a lot more. This isn't my ideal living room, but it's not about us. This is about the family Jonson, or the Jonson family. Another thing that they wanted was desks in all of the kids' rooms. So I think we can probably do that as well. But I want to try to get all the bookshelves that they're after. So I'm thinking maybe we do this for a couple more. Actually, we'd be able to fit, or we'd be able to get technically more bookshelves if we went with the smaller ones. And you know what? I've already used them over there. So let's get our duplicator. These are like tinier ones. So again, technically it's as if there are more there. But I want to do the exact same thing now over here to see if we can win them over yet. Are you kidding me? So they don't want a bunch of them. They just want enough for their books. Pick a side, you guys. Pick a dang side. So could we do that? Because I do kind of like the arch of the bookshelf doorway thing. Could we do that and then just like 2 more? Is that too many? How do we feel about that? Perfect. Let's not spoil it. But they shot down to the bottom of the dang leaderboard. Okay. We're getting rid of that then, so we can bring them back up to 3rd place. A few more bookcases in it would be perfect. Make up your dang mind. I'm losing it. You know what? I've lost it. I've officially lost it. We need the world's cheapest desks now. Would that be under office? Probably. Price ascending. Well, it should maybe be a little bit larger than that one. How about... Ooh, this looks like IKEA furniture. They'd probably love that. That looks pretty good to me. And this one is going to go over here in the corner. Thoughts? Questions? Comments? Concerns? Is this not a desk? Does it need a drawer? It says desk. Maybe they just want us to finish out the other rooms as well? These 2 rooms are kind of cool because they're like mirror images of each other. Still nothing. Okay. It's going to be too tight over there, I think. Let's put this one right here. Maybe a chair. Maybe a desk chair is what we're missing now. Some more IKEA furniture. This one should be bright. Well, there's no pink. There we go. Light lily. That'll work. And then we'll have the legs be black. Still nothing. What am I missing? Dark color for the boys' rooms. You know what? Let's just... Well, that one was green, wasn't it? Okay, so we can do a green chair then in this room to match. Turn it at a bit of an angle. This room here didn't really have a color scheme, so we're just going to do a black chair. Super basic. Do they all need laptops? I figured maybe you as the family would, or as the parents would provide that, or we could be missing storage. That's possible. Probably not, though. What about more bookshelves up here? In the kids' rooms. They like that. Hang on, hang on. We might have did something here. And they hate it. Okay. You know, I feel like I remember the Jonson family being one of the most difficult clients. 1 toy per kid. We're not impressed. Well, I can do more, but I definitely did 2 toys per kid, so I don't know, maybe they're just not good at math. Let's put a penguin over here. And you get a penguin. And you get a penguin. Well, okay, Dolan Trusk does not like that. But we are slowly building rapport with the family Jonson. Jonson family. And nothing about the teddy bear? Okay. It's possible that the teddy bear doesn't count as a toy. We've got a stuffed Bessie. Here we go. This dude's getting all the cool toys, in my opinion. A rat, a squirrel, and a penguin. Okay. They're liking it, but I think they need more. How about board games? What if we just put some board games on the desks? 1 toy per kid, we're not impressed. This is a lot more than 1 toy per kid at this point. I think we can probably squeeze a dollhouse over here. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns about that? Okay, no comment. We'll keep going then. The youngest had told me that he wanted a tricycle, so I'm gonna put that in here. Smoth family likes it. Jonson family? Still nothing. They're ghosting me right now. And then a rocking horse for the... Oh, that's so creepy. Rocking horse for the eldest. A little weird. But what do they think about that? The more toys, the better. They enhance the kids' creativity. Okay, so I think at this point, we're good on that. But how do we bump the Smoth family down and the Jonson family up? Let's go to buyers. What is the Jonson family not the Jonson family, the Smoth family, what do they dislike? It's looking like pretty much the same sort of stuff that the Jonson family dislikes. So what about likes? Hygiene above all, a bathroom. It would be difficult to go through this and give the Smoth family or the Jonson family things that they do like, and then the Smoth family things that they don't like. You know what I'm trying to say? Our kids will be doctors and lawyers. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. Shoot, man. Rugs. Rugs. They liked rugs. Let's type rug up here, and we're probably gonna have to use an in-game one. These are from the Steam Workshop, just to make sure that it's technically a rug. Ooh, one of these. That's from the Steam Workshop as well. Never mind. Okay, something simple. I mean, we could probably put a pretty big rug. Yeah, there's got to be one larger than that in the dining room, no? Is this going to be too big? That'll work. Okay. We don't want to pay the extra for expensive furniture. There is one rug, nice, but... So they want cheap rugs. I think the cheapest thing that we could do then is just get them bathroom rugs, probably. So we'll do like one outside of the shower and then one just in front of the sink. They didn't really seem to appreciate that. But maybe we just haven't added enough of them yet. Another one here. Another one here. I mean, this is dirt cheap. $15. That is not too shabby. And then we'll do another one here. Why are they not... Do they not see what I'm trying to do for them? Okay, we can't do one there because of the door. We can do one here. They don't care. They straight up do not care about the bathroom rug. So that means it probably has to be any other rug. This is cheap. Do they like that? They do like that. Hang on, what else did they say about their kids' room? I didn't quite catch that. I read at a 3rd grade level. There are children's rooms, you're mistaken. This is one, well, this is not. This is not. Does a rug suddenly transform it into a children's bedroom? It does. Okay, what do you have to say about that? Nothing. Interesting. And then if we were to add another here, 2 children's rooms are enough for us, although if each child had their own, it would be wonderful. Okay. That's 3. Each child will have their own room, wonderful. You kind of already said that before. So... We're making progress, though. We are definitely making progress. If we were to add a rug to their room, does that make it a child's room? No, because there's no toys in here. So many rugs. Awesome. Okay, they love it. They love this tiny little square that we put at the foot of their bed. Amazing. What else could we possibly do to make this family happy then? I think the only other thing is flowers, which, I mean, we can do just real quick. We don't have that little flower spot there anymore. So let's go back up front and we'll just start sprinkling flowers everywhere. And hopefully it ends up looking halfway decent. I think I'm gonna move this. You know what? Let's just get rid of that. Scrap that thing altogether. I just want to know how many flowers it's gonna take to impress these people. So for right now, I'm just putting a bunch of flowers around the front here. And I think we already did that, didn't we? Are there 2 of those? There's 2 of them. Okay. Toss that one in the back. But for now, we'll just sprinkle them all over. And then once we determine how many flowers they want to see, we can go back through and actually do a decent looking spot for them. They're still unimpressed. And we're nearly halfway, I think, through all the flowers. What if they want 1 of each type of flower? Do you think they're insane enough to want that? Well, that's all of them. All the ones that don't have to be, like, planted into the ground. It doesn't look good like this. I don't think for a second that I think that it does. Some of you guys are probably like, Toogii, who cares about the flowers? Have you forgotten that this house has no windows? And I haven't forgotten, which is why that's what we're going to do next. Because we struck out with the flowers. I thought for sure that was going to just send them over the edge. But it didn't. So let's pick out some winders and get after it. I wonder how the Param windows would look here. And since we have that nice formal dining room space, we could probably get away with using a pretty large one up there. This is the 150. This one's a little bit taller. We'll change the color here in just a second. Would it be easier to do this maybe from the inside? Yeah, probably. Ooh, that's perfect. Okay. Let's change this up a little bit then. And then all the other windows will end up looking the same. Do some more natural oak there. Secondary color, I believe that's on the inside. I think natural oak's okay for that as well. And then we'll do black metal. There it is. There it is. When did that blue wall get there? We still have to paint and, like, do all that stuff as well, but truthfully, I've been at this for almost 5 hours today. I know the timer up in the top right corner does say 5.5 hours. Usually it's not totally accurate, and I don't really know why that is. But as far as the recording goes, I'm at 4 hours, 50 minutes. This is no small feat, I'll tell you that for sure. So we have a nice big window there. We're going to want some sort of a window here in the kitchen as well. Is this going to be too big? That is going to be too big. It needs to fit in between our cabinets. And it probably shouldn't be super tall either. I think the 150, yeah, that'll probably work a little bit better in this spot. So again, white and natural oak. That's going to go right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I kind of put a big bookshelf on this wall, so probably not going to be able to put any windows there. But a big window here might be nice. We can't duplicate these, right? No. Let's try for the same size window as what we did in the dining room, which was this one, I think. This one. Was it this one? Ooh, that fits really nice. Okay, let's do that. I don't know if Grams is going to want a window in her bathroom, but let's just see if we can get one that would look decent. Like, what about this? No, because it's going to intersect with the shower. So, this one? White wood, natural oak, natural oak. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Just above the turlet. I think Graham will appreciate that. And then over here, we can fit one there, and we can also fit one here. I'm not super crazy about when the window is like this, sort of flush with the wall. But if Graham's gonna want some more light in here, we're just gonna give Graham what she wants. You know what I mean? She does have the big door, too. What about over here? We could just do 2 more of these. Space it out a little bit further, though, so it's, again, not directly in that corner. I think that could work. Sure. Graham's got lots of natural light in here. And you know what? Now that we have those two, I really don't like these. So I think we're going to do without those ones. But the other ones, those are good. And then closets. Can't really do windows in the closet, unfortunately. So, main floor done. Let's head upstairs. And I really want to try to match the same window that we have down on the main floor up here, which was this one, I believe. I mean, that looks right. We're really not going to know until we go outside and check it out. We could do another window here, but let's go with a smaller one. Probably this one. Never mind. I don't like the way that that looks whatsoever. So back to the one that we just had again, and that also looks like garbage. How about this one? Because that was the 200 by 150. What if we did 150 by 150? Black metal. Did I forget one? I did. There it is. All right, smack dab in the center of that wall. That's looking pretty dang solid. Now over to here, if we did the same window on this wall. Looks pretty close to the center, I'll take that. And we'll do maybe just the single, the 100 by 150. Right here. Perfect. Probably no windows. Well, we might be able to do one in the, like, top of the shower. This guy? No. What about this guy? Also no. Okay. Well, we're giving up on that one. Closet. We couldn't do a window in the closet. Here. We can, I think, squeeze this one in. It really is kind of annoying having to set each window up every single time and not being able to duplicate the windows, but I've complained about that more than enough times already. In here, we are doing this one. Just above the toilet. Can we, well, I don't know that I like that. Let's see if it looks good from the outside. If it doesn't, we'll just get rid of it altogether. Right, so not crazy about it. Yeah, let's go ahead and just not do a window there. So you are going bye-bye, and you are getting duplicated and replaced. There it is. Could we do one in here? Yeah. Am I gonna have to move the light switch? Yeah. Let's do that right there. And just a small one, I think, for this room. Never mind. It's got odd spacing. How about this guy? Still odd spacing. This one? It's just not going to happen, is it? Okay, well, I'm going to leave the light switch where we just moved it to, and that'll be all right. This guy, and by guy, I mean this wall, is getting two of these windows, I think. One right there, and one right here. That's enough light. Oh, and we still have to do the roof. Kind of still have to do the roof over there. These windows would probably get covered up. So in that case, let's rotate the bed around. And then let's just do... I wonder if one larger window would fit over here. Nope. Okay. Sometimes that makes it easy. Because if the large one doesn't work, then we're going to have to do 2 smaller ones. So we'll do that. And that. Perfect. That'll do. We've just got the hallway. Well, swing and a miss. The hallway and then the shared bathroom, I think. Those are the only rooms that still need windows. Let's try to fit one more in the center. That looks good. That does, in fact, look good. And the shared bathroom... Maybe this one. That's a no. 150 by 150. I like that. I like that. We just have to make sure it's set up properly. Like so. And we can get that one put in. Because this is right above the front door. So I think if we had left that blank, then it would have looked really weird, at least from the front, from the outside. Oh, dude. That looks so much better. We'll do a quick walk around. Just to see what we think about the placement of all of them. Yeah, that looks good up there, too. I mean, they're centered on the peak of that roof, at least. We may even end up having to get rid of that one, though, if we do some sort of a roof on that structure. I don't know. Just because of that, I'm half tempted to put a door from the master bedroom, maybe leading out to here, so that the parents have their own sort of getaway. But let's at least see what a roof would look like first. Let's get that detached. And we need roofs next. Oh, we could do the flat roof also. I was thinking about doing a gable over here. I'm not really seeing the existing shingles in this list. It might be this one. If it's not, that's okay. Wait. I'm sort of scared to do a roof, because last time we did a roof, well, we're not keeping this one, are we? But we are expected to come back to it to continue working on it next episode. Last time we did a roof clipping into the wall, with a window there also, it ruined everything. That's, if you remember, that's how we lost our custom office. So maybe we will just do like a rooftop terrace patio thing. We could do a door here. Be a little tight though. Let's not and say we did. How about something simple like this? Nothing crazy. Just some railing. I don't love how many rails there are, though. There's got to be a better one than that. Probably this guy. Yeah, let's switch it up. Cell tool. Cool. Cool. Now, you know what? This is deserved. For sure. I'm not super crazy about this one either, but it is slightly better than the last one. And it definitely beats trying to place, like, the fencing all around here. This is quite a bit easier than that. So this window, I think we're going to leave, but we will definitely need a door going from the parents' bedroom to here. Make sure the handles are black as well. I mean, that does fit here. But then now what do we do with the bed? Do we just put the headboard up against these windows? Or do we just get rid of the windows? We'll leave it for now. We will leave it for now. This would be amazing, though. IRL. Oh, wait. Why did I do that in black? Shouldn't that have been white? We didn't change grams. Let's head out here real quick and take care of that. There we go. Okay. We still need to do all of the wall coverings, both inside and out. We've got to do all the flooring yet. And somehow, end up convincing the Jonson family to be the highest bidder over the Smoth family, which will probably prove to be rather difficult, I would assume. But on that note, once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.